Why is it that every time the world changes, art is already there, waiting, whispering, warning, provoking, long before the revolution begins? You can look at any major shift in history, political, social, cultural, and you'll find something surprising. Art got there first. Before people marched in streets, someone wrote a poem. Before the empire fell, someone painted a mural. Before a dictator panicked, a singer sang something that shook a nation's soul. Revolutions don't begin with guns. They begin with imaginations refusing to stay silent. Let's rewind, way back. Before humans invented agriculture, governments, or money, we invented art, cave paintings, bone flutes, symbols carved into stone. Why? Because humans needed a way to express what could not be controlled. Anthropologists say that art is the earliest form of collective memory, a way for people to communicate feelings bigger than words. And here's the thing. The moment someone expresses a new idea, the world changes just a little bit. Art is humanity's original rebellion. The first revolution wasn't political, it was creative. Every system of power runs on stories. This is the way things are. This is the way things must be. Don't question it. But art says, here's another way to see the world. That is dangerous. The philosopher David Hume said that governments survive only because people agree to believe certain stories. Art breaks that agreement. That's why authoritarian countries always do the same three things. Control education, control the media, control the arts, because whoever controls imagination controls the future. But the reverse is also true. Whoever frees imagination threatens the present. Art is a glitch in the system, and it grows. The Colombian novelist Gabriel Garcia Marquez once said, "The role of the artist is to write what people fear to say." Art makes people dangerous because it makes them think. Totalitarian governments have always been terrified of artists. Hitler banned modern art and called it degenerate. The Soviet Union censored writers like Bulgakov and Pasternak. China banned Ai Weiwei. Iran jailed poets. Dictators always silence comedians first. And Plato, yes, Plato, wanted to kick the poets out of his ideal republic. Why? Because art awakens independent thinking. Revolutions don't spread through arguments. They spread through stories. Let's talk about the French Revolution. Before people stormed the Bastille, something else was happening. Pamphlets, political cartoons, plays mocking the monarchy, coffeehouse poets satirizing the king. Historian Robert Darnton documented that France had an underground network of writers who circulated humorous, rebellious, outrageous stories ridiculing the royal court. People didn't just rebel because they were hungry. They rebelled because their imagination had already shifted. They had already seen the king as a joke, and once you laugh at power, power loses its magic. Revolutions begin with imagination collapsing old myths. Art creates community, and community creates revolutions. Every revolutionary moment begins the same way. People start finding each other. Artists build the spaces where this happens. Jazz clubs, underground theaters, poetry readings, street murals, community gatherings, online creative circles today. Think of the Arab Spring. Before the protests, there were poems, street art, rap music, and bloggers who spoke truths. People whispered but never dared to say publicly. Art gathers people around a shared emotional experience. A single song can unify a crowd of thousands. A single mural can turn strangers into allies. A single poem can give a movement its identity. Human beings don't fight revolutions for facts. They fight for meaning. And art is where meaning is born. Art is prophetic. It sees what doesn't exist yet. Before any new society is born, someone imagines it first. Think of science fiction. Writers like Octavia Butler, George Orwell, Ursula K. Le Guin, they predicted surveillance states, gender politics, environmental collapse, AI, robotics, virtual reality. Before politicians even recognized these issues, Orwell's 1984 is taught worldwide not because of its plot, but because it warned us how power could reshape reality. Art preserves revolutionary memory, even when history is erased. There's a reason oppressed communities lean on art. When the powerful erase your history, art keeps it alive. Enslaved Africans in America used spirituals to encode escape routes. Indigenous communities used songs and dances to preserve cultural memory. Holocaust survivors wrote diaries, poems, and drawings, even inside concentration camps. Latin American dictatorship victims used theater, teatro callejero, to resist censorship. Art becomes a weapon against forgetting. You can burn books, ban films, destroy paintings, but the ideas survive. Because art doesn't live in galleries, it lives in people. Many revolutions begin when people look around and suddenly think, wait, this looks a lot like what the artist warned us about. Art is not decoration, it's prediction. The most powerful changes in human history began because someone picked up a pen, a brush, a guitar, and dared to dream out loud. If you create, you are already part of a revolution. If you express, you are already dangerous. And if you imagine a different world, you are already shaping it.